Welcome. I'm really glad that both you guys brought up the idea that content is content wherever it is, because I don't know if you know, in the content marketing world, there's a little bit of an apartheid. Like what the promotional types do is push their product messages out there, and we're purists, we're content marketers, we talk about issues, and we never actually get our hands dirty talking about actual products. And actually, I think that's bullshit. I think that all content, if content is packaging up your expertise, your knowledge, to help your prospects or customers do their jobs better, that's content. And that's product documentation, that's content marketing, and it's advertising. If you believe your products actually help your prospects do their jobs better, then advertising it is part of content too. So the things I'm talking about come from a content marketing perspective, just to give you guys that lens. But I think it's applicable to whatever kind of content you're doing. I think in a nutshell, the problem is that content works. And it's a problem, therefore, because everybody wants to do it. Almost all of these disciplines are changing around this idea of offering content to their audiences instead of just pushing the message that they always have wanted to push and hope people come along. When big companies change, you'd like to do it in kind of a guided way. You don't want it to be the Wild West, but unfortunately with content, that's what's been happening. So today that guided transformation is colliding head-on with Wild West proliferation. Content is everywhere, content teams are everywhere, writers are everywhere. There's a way to get to audiences very quickly and easily. This kind of thing, this kind of madness is a job for a center of excellence. And what it is basically a center of excellence, a team or shared facility that provides leadership, best practices, research, support, and training for a given focus area, whatever that is. Good nouns there, leadership, best practice, research, support, and training. Another way to put it, which is a little more positive, a best of the best team that inspires, cajoles, leads, advises, and trains other teams to be great at an important thing. It's weird because I came up in the creative side of marketing. I'm a copywriter. And I was kind of anti-process as long as I could afford to be. I thought any kind of policy would limit my future possibilities, so please, no rules. And then we grew, and we're not big by any of your company standards, we're 50 people. But to go from 0 to 50 fast, you start to really need process. You realize the value of actually getting some process down, paying attention to how you do things. It makes a lot of sense. And in this case, the penalties of content proliferation are pretty significant. So just taking them around the wheel here, wasted budget, clearly. There is a lot wasted if you're not coordinating. Duplication of effort, like my BT's thing, BT Global Services thing, there's too many people doing the same thing. Pools of underexploited content. So we always will see in clients who will come across something and think, that is great. That is a great video on a great timely topic, and it's sitting somewhere that nobody knows about, even in the company. Multiple homes for a single piece, so there's just kind of confusion about where does it live, where should it live. There used to be a search engine penalty for this that was a lot greater than now if you can handle it well and you can live with that. Inconsistent stories and looks, clearly saying different things about the same issue. And in our big clients, we will see if we can compare 5 blog posts about the same exact issue, they're actually coming out in very different places. Variable content quality, obviously. Some people are naturally good at this. Some people are not very good at all, so you'll just get a whole range of quality. And in the content itself, in the writing, in the design. Those are bad enough. Those are bad enough penalties that you'd want to solve, right? But bigger than all of that is the penalty of confusion. So audiences, your prospects, your customers are confused. They don't know what the real line is from you guys. They don't know where to find what they want to find. They don't know which to believe when they see conflicting things, or they can't find what they want at all. So anytime you want to change someone's mind, confusion is absolutely the last thing you want. It's the enemy of marketing, really, or of any kind of communication. What do companies do when this kind of thing happens? Enter the cops, basically. Brand police, compliance cops, and worldwide heads of sameness. 19 things you shouldn't do, 19 ways you can't do it. This is not our palette, this is our palette. This is not our font, that is our font. That's how companies respond to this kind of thing. For me, the content center of excellence has to be a bit different than that. It really isn't a traffic cop function. The best content centers of excellence aren't cops, they are coaches. What does the content center of excellence do? So a couple things to think about when you look at the list. They're all important things, I think you'd agree. They're all things that someone ought to be doing. They all add value. But the other thing is they're all best done centrally. Almost everything here really is best done as a central function as opposed to hoping it happens somewhere else. And if it did happen somewhere else, it would be in that silo and never get propagated. These are things we want to be propagated when you listen to the market or get best practice. This is stuff you want to spread, right? Recognizing that we're in an open, social media world where a company is a much more porous thing than it used to be. People are talking for the company everywhere. And I think content centers of excellence need to be comfortable with that, need not to try to corral it and slam it down and control all of that, but recognize it and work to the strengths of that. So this kind of comfort with an open culture is important. Now I want to really run through roles, who does what in the Content Center of Excellence. I'm going to talk about these as if each one is a job, but it's a hat, so a small team, one person's going to do all of this, right? Then you start to break it up the bigger the team, but someone's got to do this stuff. So those are the roles in a Content Center of Excellence. I just wanted to end by showing you a couple of the outputs. So one of our clients, Kimberly Clark, puts out regular content about content marketing, very meta, I know, but this kind of thing. We're going in, delivering effective content marketing. This was the first document about why we're doing this effort. From here to eternity, mapping the customer journey. This is how content works differently depending on where someone is in the journey. Who's who in the zoo, understanding the customer. That's about personas. Who are we likely to be talking to? What do we know about them? Or a playbook, a really core document for a Content Center of Excellence is some kind of central playbook where you'll be nailing goals and target audiences and things like the sweet spot. Where does your best content come from? Or what kind of phasing out of content you'll do, or how you'll segment your market. So, as we started with, the problem is the content works. That's the big problem out there. How do we solve that? Actually, obviously, it's not a problem if you get it right, and if you inspire teams to do better work and to get into the game. Obviously, the opportunity is that content works. And if we can make it work better in all of the places we talked about through a Content Center of Excellence, I think that's something really worth doing. So thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Jack Kessler.
Thanks.